The first thing I noticed about her was her silence. Zereth 4 was supposed to be an abandoned war zone, a forgotten planet left behind after centuries of interstellar conflict. I was sent there on a joint expedition between humans and the Zereth Coalition to recover lost tech from the old battlefields. The official mission was archaeology, but the unspoken truth was curiosity. What was left behind after the Viren Wars still haunted both species. My name is Dr. Elias Tren, xenolinguist and field scientist. My work usually involves deciphering symbols, not surviving in radioactive dust storms. So when the transport shuttle dropped me on the cracked soil of Zereth 4, I already wanted to go home. But my mission partner, a warrior from the alien race known as the Valari, made that impossible. She introduced herself simply as Commander Lyra. The Valari were a proud species, tall and elegant, with skin that shimmered faintly beneath their armor, though she never took hers off. Her entire body was encased in sleek black plating, her voice muffled through the helmet's filter. "I'll keep you alive," she said the first day. "But stay behind me. Zereth 4 remembers it's dead." She was right. The planet felt haunted, a desert of ruins, bones, and scorched metal. Yet beneath the sand lay vaults of history, ancient Valari architecture, human tech from the war, and secrets. For 2 weeks, we scavenged through broken outposts and crumbling spires. Lyra barely spoke unless necessary. She refused to eat in front of me, refused to remove her helmet, and when I asked about her people's customs, she only replied, "You wouldn't understand." I tried to keep things professional. But one night, as we sat beneath the dim light of our campfire, the air thick with static from the storm, she said something that cracked that cold armor a little. "Why do humans look at faces so much?" she asked. "Faces tell us who we are," I said, half smiling. "They show emotions, history, connection." She looked at me for a long time through that dark visor. "And if the face is not beautiful?" Her tone was different. Softer, almost uncertain. I frowned. "Then beauty's the wrong question," I replied. "We look at what the person carries in their eyes." Her helmet tilted slightly like she was studying me. "Humans are strange." That was the first time she laughed, a quiet, short sound that the wind almost carried away. Middle, the discovery beneath the ruins. On the 17th day we found it, the Vault of Thera, a collapsed structure buried beneath layers of ash and stone. My scanner picked up energy readings that shouldn't have existed after all these years. Lyra led the descent, her movements graceful despite the heavy armor. As we went deeper, the tunnels began to hum, ancient systems reactivating at our presence. Holograms flickered, showing scenes of the Valari before the war. Vast cities, temples of crystal, and faces filled with hope. "This is your people's past," I whispered. Her voice came through static. "The past is gone. The present is exile." We reached a sealed chamber, a massive door etched with inscriptions in both Valari and human dialect. Took me hours to decode. The symbols told a strange story. Of a queen of the Veil, a Valari leader who led her people into hiding after their homeworld's fall. She sealed herself beneath the surface to protect something called the Soul Forge. When the door finally opened, the chamber beyond was a sanctuary of light. Hovering orbs, ancient tech, and in the center, a sarcophagus-like structure. Inside, something pulsed faintly. Lyra approached it like she was walking into a dream. "This is her resting place," she said, her voice trembling. "Our queen." She was said to bear the scars of both life and death, the last of the pure blood. Before I could respond, the ground shook violently. My scanner spiked. Life forms detected. We weren't alone. Dozens of reclaimer drones, Automated war machines, activated around us. Centuries old but still lethal. They recognized us as intruders. Lyrash didn't hesitate. She drew her plasma blade, its white edge glowing through the dust. "Stay behind me." The fight was chaos. Beams slicing through the air, explosions echoing through the vault. I tried to shut down the defense system through a nearby console, but a blast threw me to the ground. The last thing I saw was Lyrash shielding me with her armored body, taking the impact meant for me. Then everything went dark. The revelation. When I woke, silence. The drones were piles of molten wreckage. The chamber was in ruins. And Lyrash sat beside me, her armor cracked, breathing hard. Her hands trembled as she reached for the control on her neckplate. "You asked before why I never remove this." Before I could answer, she pressed the latch. With a hiss of decompression, the helmet came off, and I forgot how to breathe. Her face was unlike any I'd seen. Her skin was luminous silver, veins of faint blue light running beneath the surface. Her eyes were vast, iridescent, filled with shifting galaxies. But what drew my gaze most were the scars, deep web-like fractures across her cheeks, as though light itself had once tried to escape her body and failed. She watched my reaction carefully, her expression unreadable. "Now you see," she whispered, "why I hide." I sat up slowly. "Lyrash, you're a monster," she interrupted bitterly. "The radiation from the old war. It burned us. The Valari who fought in the front lines were cursed by our own weapons. I was one of them." I shook my head. "You're not a monster. You're—" She looked away, voice trembling. "Don't lie to comfort me, human." But I wasn't lying. There was something unearthly, yes, but also heartbreakingly beautiful. Every scar told a story of survival, of sacrifice. "You asked what beauty means," I said softly. "It's seeing truth, and you're full of it." Her lips parted slightly, and for the first time, her voice lost its armor. "Elias." Before I could respond, the sarcophagus in the center of the chamber began to hum. The soul forge awakened. A light spilled from within, touching both of us. Suddenly, I saw flashes, visions of the Queen's final moments, her sacrifice to seal away a weapon that could erase worlds. And then a voice, ancient, echoing in both our minds. "The blood of my line endures. The guardian and the human shall restore what was lost." Lyrash's eyes widened. The Queen's memory. The vault trembled again. The forge was destabilizing. If it collapsed, it would erase everything for miles. I scrambled to the console, typing furiously to shut it down. Lyrash stood beside me, placing her hand over mine. Her glowing veins pulsed faster. She was linking directly with the system, sacrificing her life force to stabilize it. "Stop!" shouted. "You'll burn yourself out." She smiled faintly. "It must be me. I was born for this." I didn't think. I grabbed her hand, the heat searing my skin. "Then we do it together." The explosion of light consumed us both, ending the face beneath the stars. When I woke again, I wasn't in the vault. I was outside, under the open sky of Zareth 4. The ruins were gone. The desert had become glass, smooth, silent, like the world had been reborn. My communicator crackled with the voice of the recovery team, but I barely heard them, because Lyrash was lying beside me, breathing weakly. The scars on her face glowed brighter now, like starlight. "You're alive," I whispered, kneeling beside her. She looked at me, really looked, and smiled. "The forge is gone. The Queen's soul rests." Her eyes fluttered closed. I thought I'd lost her. But then her breathing steadied. The energy that once scarred her was now fading, healing. Days later, as we prepared to leave Zareth 4, she stood at the edge of the landing pad, watching the horizon. She wore no helmet now. Her people had contacted her. The Valari Council wanted her back. To them, she was now both survivor and savior. "Your world will know what you did," she said softly. "And mine will remember you." Smiled. "Maybe one day we'll stop building walls between our stars." She turned to me then, that same uncertain expression from our first night together. "Elias," she said quietly, "when I asked you before, 'Am I beautiful?' He nodded. I remember." She stepped closer, the fading sunlight reflecting off her silver skin. "Then tell me again, now that you've seen me, all of me." I met her gaze. Galaxies reflected in her eyes and smiled. "Yes," I said. "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." For a moment, the air between us felt still, like the universe itself was holding its breath. Then she laughed softly, just as she did that first night, and whispered, "Humans are strange." The engines roared, the stars opened above us, and together we left the world that had once been a tomb, now a place of rebirth. And I knew, somewhere deep within, that the galaxy had changed, not because of war or power, but because a human dared to look beneath the helmet and see the soul within.